All right, my students are going to be working on some homework tonight, and I do kind of worry about how they're going to do. We have practice with dot plots and things like that, but we're getting a little bit into some new territory. And there's a few little things I want to point out to them before I feel like I can just say, there you go. I want you to look at this word, and this item here, it talks about does this data have any outliers? Now, outliers are data points that are very far away from where the most of the data points cluster together. For instance, let's say that we had this problem here earlier, and we said that we had to find out the ages of kids attending a camping trip, and we found 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15-year-olds going. We did not put down the age of the sponsor that was taking these kids on this trip. If we put that sponsor's age, we would have to put in perhaps, we'll say 41. Now, notice how from 8 to 15, most of the ages will be grouped together. But if we were to put in 41, our dot plot would be a whole lot longer, wouldn't it? And we would have a data point way off to itself, lying outside the main grouping. Now, there is an actual technical definition for outlier, how far away it goes from interquartile range and that kind of stuff, but for our purposes, we're just looking at, do you have one data point that is way below the main grouping of data points or way above the main grouping? So when you come upon the word outlier, until we get to looking at interquartile range and other measures of center and things like that, just look at your data points, and if you have one that's way off to itself, it will be your outlier. Now, we're also looking at something different today. We've also got a new way of showing data, and it is a stem and leaf plot. Now, this particular stem and leaf plot does go along with this dot plot that we have created. And I'll talk a little bit about it right now. When you see the 0 here and the 1 here, based on our key, the 1-0, or not dash, it's just like a little line here. It represents 10 years old. Now here, where we have 0, we would have a child that's 8 years old. Another child that's 8 years old. Another child that's 8 years old, 8 years old, and 9, 9, 9. But here, we'd have one kid that's 10, another kid that's 10, another child that's 10, another child that's 10, and here we would have a child that's 11, and 11, and 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 13, 14, 14, and 15. One of the things that I like about these stem and leaf plots, charts, is that they put the data in a nice organized way for you, so you're not going to leave anything out, and it makes the ability to do a dot plot really easy. Now here is one that I've already created that goes with this data. You are supposed to come up, if you were to look at number 3A, it wants you to draw a line plot on grid paper for the data. Now, I didn't have to use grid paper. I was just very careful and did it on regular paper. And the title of this dot plot is Ages of Kids Attending Camping Trip. And then I just used a ruler, and I marked out, I was able to use my ruler, and I started, I just put these inches apart. We had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and notice how I put the unit here, or measure, I guess. Ages in years, tells us what those numbers stand for. And I have a question. You have a question, child?
Shouldn't it be ages of kids attending a camping trip instead of just attending camping trip?
Okay, this is a title. It's not actual sentence, so I can leave out articles and stuff because it's just a title. You know, titles can be phrases. You know, they're not going to be complete thoughts, perhaps. But anyhow, one of the conclusions you can draw based on this dot plot is that there are more 13-year-olds than any other age group. But one of the questions that we can't answer based on this dot plot, we can't tell what the genders of the children are. Are they all boys? Are they all girls? Are they a mix? We have no idea. Now, the thing I wanted to point out to you is on your homework tonight, if you have a situation where you have a stem and leaf, be aware that it's just a handy way of organizing data. And you look here, and if you have a 0, then the kids' ages just be like 8, 8, 8, and so on. If you have a 1 here, that's going to be 10, 10, 10, 10. If I had a 2 here, and then a 0 and a 1, what would that represent where that 0 is?
20.
20, and here?
21.
And 21. So, if you've never seen a stem and leaf plot before, that's how you read those. Okay, I just want to make sure that you would understand those little bits there. So on your homework tonight, if you see something you're not familiar with, hopefully this will help you. Do you have a question, child?
So the stem is like a tenth place, and then the leaf is the one.
Yeah, and it does help you not have to write so much. I mean, imagine, it does save you a few little pen strokes instead of having to put that one for the tens place and all those. Okay.